As you get older, you might notice that you're starting to pick up more injuries or aches and pains. To some extent, that's maybe because you're feeling more tight or your flexibility is becoming worse. I believe that in order to overcome these injuries, these aches or pains, you need to have a certain amount of flexibility. In my clinical practice, I use a lot of these tests that I'm about to show you with my clients in order to determine what areas they need to work on. So in today's video, we're going to go through a load of flexibility tests that you can do at home on yourself to figure out what you need to improve in order to overcome your aches and pains. We're going to go through neck, shoulders, hips, knees and ankles. So if you want to skip straight ahead to one of those, then I've put the timestamps in the description below. So the first thing we're going to do is the neck. Can you get your chin down to touch your chest? You should be able to do that relatively comfortably without any pain in the back of the neck or the top of the back. The second thing we're then going to do is rotation of the neck. Can you get your chin almost in line with your shoulders? So if I show you that from the side, can you get your chin to your chest? And how far around can you rotate your neck? So now for the shoulders, how high can you bring your arm? So if you bring your arm straight in front of you, can you get your arm in line with your ear? So from the side, can you bring your arm to around here? So it should be in line or just behind your ear. The next one is how far back can you bring your arm? So I'll turn around and show you. This one can be a bit painful, so just do it really slowly and carefully. So from here, can you bring your arm? How high up can you bring your arm? And then compare that with the other side. You should be able to see both hands roughly level with each other. What you might find is that one hand goes to a certain point, say here, while the other hand goes to about here. In which case you know that the hand that's not so high is the one that needs the most work. So now we're moving on to the hips. I've covered this one in a previous video, but what I want you to do is sit on the edge of a chair, put one leg up onto your knee. Now it's really important that you're not putting the outside of your foot on your knee. Make sure it's just above your ankle. Hold with one hand, and with the other hand, just push your knee down. And can you get your knee horizontal? Can you get your knee in line with your ankle? If you find that you're up here, then we need to work on trying to get this knee further down. So the next one we're going to try is how far can you forward bend? Essentially we're trying to touch toes. So this is testing hips mainly and hamstring flexibility. It will also look a little bit into your lower back flexibility as well. So with your feet together, hands in front of you, we're just going to bend forwards with the knees straight and see how far you can bend. So you should be able to touch your toes. The idea is that that's at least where you should be. If you can't and you're only around here right now, then it gives you something to work towards. So wherever you are, over time you should be able to see gradual progressions downwards towards your feet. Now we're going to move on to the knees. Be careful with this one if you have anything like arthritis in the knees, but if your knees generally feel okay, the next one is a kneeling test. So come onto the floor and can you kneel all the way down so that your bum touches your heels? A lot of clients of mine either haven't got the ankle flexibility to get their ankles flat on the floor, or they haven't got the flexibility in the knees or through the quads to be able to fully sit down. So just go as far as you feel comfortable. The idea though is that you should definitely be able to sit or should be able to kneel with your heel touching your bum. If you want an even better test of your knee flexibility, try and get someone to help you do this. So you would lie down on the floor, get someone to pick up your foot or your leg and just bend your knee as far as it will go down. This one is, in my opinion, better, but obviously you need someone else as well. What I'm looking for is, can your heel touch your bum? A lot of people I see in clinical practice get to about there and won't be able to go any further. So that's how I know that they need to stretch that more. The next one we're going to do is for ankle flexibility. You'll need a tape measure and you want to set it so that it's up against the wall. And what you're going to do is start with your toes right up next to the wall. Can your knee touch the wall? If it can, then take your foot further back. Bring your knee forwards. You don't want your heel coming up off the floor. If your knee can do that, then take your foot further back and push your knee forwards until you get to the point where your heel starts to come up off the floor. Then just take it slightly further forward to find out the point where your heel is just about to come off the floor. The benchmark for this is 5 inches. So your toes are 5 inches away from where the wall is, not from where any of this stuff coming out of the wall is, but 5 inches away from the actual surface of the wall. If you're less than 5 inches away, then you definitely know that you need to be working on your flexibility. Now, some people may find that they've got a bit of a pinching in the front of their ankle. That suggests there's some kind of impingement, or the joint itself is not flexing as well as it could be. So I'll show you that in the next video. Or you might find that you've got a pull on the back, in which case that suggests it's the muscle. So those are the main mobility tests that I run with my clients. Obviously you're going to do both sides, so try both sides, see if there's any discrepancies between left and right, and once you've done them all, let me know in the comments section below how you got on. Obviously if you experience any pain, then don't push those tests. Don't push anything into pain, just stop. You may have noticed that I haven't done any spinal mobility tests, and the reason is because I believe that you need to probably work on the periphery first before you start working on your spine. But we'll do that in another video and another time. Once you've done these tests, the next thing you're going to try and do is to obviously stretch those tight areas. So in the next video, I'm going to show you exactly what stretches to do based on the results of the tests that you've just done.